holiday season is in full swing and local nonprofit organizations are working hard to serve the members of their community.
Cuyahoga County is making advancements to almost a dozen community spaces. Find out how they are making bathrooms more accessible throughout the area.
Tesla CEO Elon Musk saw his pay package rejected. All of this and more are coming up on a one-hour edition of KSTV News, and it starts right now.
Good Tuesday evening, Portage County. I'm Noah Rowe, joined by Sydney Brown.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
We're going to start off with some breaking news. Governor DeWine declared a state of emergency in 4 counties this evening. They're anticipating heavy lake effect snow throughout the entire week.
Ohio officials are looking at Ashtabula, Cuyahoga, Geauga, and Lake County. The strong cold fronts are expected to reach more than 40 miles an hour, but hazardous road conditions are the biggest concern.
Absolutely. ODOT is already tracking 33 weather-related crashes in Ashtabula County alone. I hope everyone who is commuting in is going to be doing absolutely okay, but today is Giving Tuesday. This is the day to give back, to help someone or some organization that helps others in need. And there are so many ways to do so. It could be through giving a helping hand out and packed food for your local food pantry, in food drives, or perhaps donating winter coats for people who need them, or helping the homeless by serving hot meals. You can also donate money to your favorite nonprofit, whether you choose those options or in so many other ways. Today is the day to celebrate generosity as the holiday season gets into full swing. And right here in Kent, a local soup kitchen is making sure community members have access to a warm meal.
That's right. Kent Stater TV's Landry Torres went to Kent Social Services this Giving Tuesday. Hi, Landry.
Hi, guys. The holidays can be a tough time for many, and Kent Social Services is taking the time to provide resources to those in need. And this Giving Tuesday, the local food pantry is prioritizing the needs of others. Kent Social Services offers warm meals daily to those in the community and is accepting canned and boxed food donations that will go directly to feeding those who need it. The organization is committed to serving anyone who comes in. Kent Social Services food pantry is currently in need of canned soup and peanut butter.
It could be any one of us today that, you know, is in this position, and the one great thing about us, we don't judge if someone needs food, you know, and again, you can come in here with a box of cereal and that box of cereal will help someone. So we appreciate any donations that we receive.
Kent Social Services serves hot meals from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. and the food pantry is open from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. daily. I'll be back later with more. For KSTV, I'm Landry Torres.
Thank you, Landry. Excited to hear more. But Kent State University's Ashtabula campus canceled all of their classes today that took place after noon. This is in addition to the campus closure yesterday after severe snowstorms over Thanksgiving weekend. In the northern parts of the county, more than 3 feet of snow fell, and crews are still struggling to clear roads. The branch campus is expected to be open for classes again tomorrow, but flash alerts are in the first place to hear about school cancellations.
And we know that winter has arrived in Northeast Ohio, bringing freezing temperatures and a chance for more snow later this week. Boston Mills and Brandywine ski resorts have started snowmaking efforts, kicking off Thanksgiving weekend. Crews are working around the clock to prepare for a potential Christmas opening to make sure the slopes are ready for the whole ski season.
Newscast on Kent Stater TV.
I'm Tegan Evans with your weather for Kent and around the state of Ohio. It has been quite a chilly day, and unfortunately, this is just the beginning. Before we get into that, let's take a look at the temperatures right now. Right now in Kent, it is 29 degrees, an overcast of clouds that will continue on for the rest of the night. Winds are west 8 to 13 miles per hour. However, gusts can reach up to 28 miles per hour. Now, if we take a look at the temperatures around the state of Ohio, starting up by the lake in Toledo, it is a little bit warmer at 32 degrees, and then down in Akron, Canton, it drops a little bit to 27 degrees. Now we go down south to Columbus, 30 degrees, but then Athens, along with Cincinnati, both 28 degrees, along with in the east, Pittsburgh sitting at 28 degrees. Now let's take a look at what the rest of the weather on campus is going to look like tonight. Around the same the rest of the night, mid to upper 20s. The low will probably reach around 23 degrees, and it will remain cloudy all throughout the night leading into tomorrow. That's all I have for you right now, but when I come back, we will look at your on-campus weather for tomorrow and what the rest of the week is going to look like.
Thank you, Tegan. In Canton, 33-year-old Alexis Farrell has been sentenced to 90 days in jail after police found her eating a cat alive earlier this year. Officers described the scene as horrifying, with body cam footage showing Farrell covered in blood. She now faces charges of animal cruelty, resisting arrest, and drug paraphernalia possession. Authorities are calling it one of the most unsettling cases they've ever seen, sparking outrage and conversations about animal cruelty laws. And Cleveland police are also investigating an early morning crash at the Greater Cleveland Food Bank on Coit Road. A vehicle smashed through the front lobby windows and doors, leaving shattered glass and broken door frames scattered inside. Authorities are searching for the driver and say the cause of the crash is still unknown. Food bank officials confirm the damage won't interrupt their daily functions.
Cuyahoga County is investing in accessible changing tables for community members with developmental disabilities. These universal changing tables are adult-sized to allow more people safe and private spaces to manage restroom needs. This year, Cuyahoga DD invested $102,000 in universal changing table grants for 11 community spaces like the library and rec centers.
And the story of legendary Highland High School football coach Perry Reese Jr. is headed to the big screen. After more than 20 years of work, the documentary Angel in Amish Country, the Perry Reese Jr. story, is nearing completion. Producer Jay Maximo says the film captured Reese's impact as a coach and teacher, with interviews from 70 people, including Bob Huggins and Reese's former players. Maximo is now seeking $50,000 to finish the project, with plans for a 2024 release.
Coming to Blossom Music Center this May are rock bands Benjamin Breaking, and Stained, who are joining forces for a co-headlining tour. The Wake and Fallen tour will make a stop in Cuyahoga Falls on May 19th. Tickets for the tour will go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. through Live Nation.
We'll be taking you inside the Cleveland Botanical Gardens exhibit Frost and behind the scenes to find out what inspired the showcase.
And General Motors have announced a recall on their trucks. Later tonight, we tell you what you need to look out for.
Many Olympians have launched their careers at Kent State University. In track and field, veteran coach Nathan Fanger has propelled 2 star athletes to the Summer Games. Following in their powerful footsteps is Olympic hopeful Gabby Bailey. Gabby's high school coach knew Kent State would be a perfect home for the Jamaican star after seeing the success of one of his former athletes, Olympian Danielle Thomas Dodd.
Kent is a good place to grow because the environment here is unmatched compared to other schools. It's not just a good place for athletes, it's a good place for everybody. Everybody feels supported here.
Coach Fanger helps Gabby grow athletically and academically.
We want to go win conference championships, and we want to see people's success outside of track and field, but to get there, you've got to be able to be supportive through the whole process, right? I'm there essentially 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
It's like an experience that you probably won't get anywhere else. And it's just a feeling of being welcome all the time.
The collaboration between Kent State and the Cleveland Museum of Natural History is a long-standing one.
Dr. Aaron's experimental lab is really state-of-the-art. It's known internationally.
We can recreate any artifact from the last 3 million years, and the Cleveland Museum of Natural History has pretty much any tool that ancient people use. So we send our students up here to study those examples so they can figure out how to recreate them. And the collaboration led to incredible discoveries right here in Ohio. And it's a dream come true.
Tomorrow's news leaders.
Today's top stories.
From an award-winning student newsroom.
This is Kent Stater TV.
Your community.
Your stories.
Welcome back. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Michael Bublé couldn't have said it better himself, but joining us now in studio to tell us more about a festive display in downtown Cleveland is Lex Rady. Good evening, Lex.
That's right, guys. Today I got a chance to drive up to Cleveland, Ohio and visit the Cleveland Botanical Gardens. Now, while I was there, I had a chance to visit their exhibit titled Frost, which showcases an outdoor-like scenery, but inside. The exhibit features themed rooms full of flowers, plants, and crafted animal figures. And there are tons of colorful lights alongside Christmas tunes playing as you walk through the exhibit. This was all made possible through the exhibit culturist Summer Tolan, who I got to chat with about the inspiration behind the winter showcase.
Incorporate plants, so that's kind of first on our list. And then as a team, we just talk about what do we want to see this year. So basically it was kind of like a toss-up between, like, you know, I don't want to say mall Christmas, but you know, that classic mall Christmas. And then the team was showing these kind of like icy, you know, drawings, and I was like, I think that's where we need.
That's all I have for you at the moment, Portage County, but I will be back at 6:30 with the full story, so stay tuned. For now, I'm going to toss it back to our beloved senior at the desk, Noah Rowe.
Thank you, Lex. The legal battle over abortion regulations in Ohio is far from over, even after voters enshrined abortion rights in the state constitution last year. Several lawsuits are challenging restrictions like the 6-week abortion ban and 24-hour waiting periods, arguing these laws conflict with the new constitutional protections. The Ohio Attorney General's office is fighting back, keeping the debates in the court well into next year.
Ohio legislators and medical experts are voicing concerns for Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s nomination to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. His comments about vaccines in the past are alarming to some representatives when considering the leadership of a federal medical agency with a multi-billion-dollar budget. The main concern from public health officials is vaccine hesitancy, when some illnesses are eradicated because of the vaccines the U.S. offers.
Keeping you informed and ahead of the storm, this is your KSTV weather.
I hope you are ready for some snow on campus to finish out this semester, because it is on its way. Let's take a look at the weather for tomorrow. Tomorrow, the high will be 34 degrees. However, this will drop down to 17 degrees by the time the night is over. It'll be cloudy throughout the day, but in the evening, there will be a mix of rain and snow. The snow will take over at around 5 p.m. 60% chance of precipitation. Winds will be south 15 to 18 miles per hour. However, wind gusts may reach 37 miles per hour. Now let's take a look at the extended forecast for the rest of this week. Starting again tomorrow, like I mentioned, high of 34, low of 17 with a snow and rain mix. This leads into Thursday, where, as you see, lots of snow, 80% chance of snow showers, a high of 26 and a low of 20. This continues into Friday, but the snow ends at around 4 a.m. and the sun will take over for Friday with a high of 29. Saturday warms up a little bit more, a high of 30 and a low of 24. However, there will be a little bit of snow throughout that day. Moving on to Sunday, the sun will take over, a high of 38 and a low of 31. Monday, a high of even warmer, 45, a low of 33. But with that comes some rain, a 50% chance of showers. That leads into Tuesday with a 30% chance of showers, a high of 42 and a low of 28. That is all I have for right now, but I will be back later with more. I'm Tegan Evans. Back to you guys.
The latest news concerning Elon Musk to a GM recall. Multiple economic interest stories have made up the news this week.
And Matt Crowley joins us in the studio to break them all down for us. Matt?
No, and Cindy, good evening. That's right, a lot has made news in the consumer world, so let's waste no time and dive right in. We'll start with the big name in the restaurant industry. It's Pizza Hut, because they are getting a makeover. The chain unveiled a new design concept that features a front-facing pizza-making station. Pizza Hut is testing this design in Plano, Texas, before rolling it out to other cities. The location also offers a touchscreen kiosk to place orders. The drive-thru offers a new Hut and Go menu that serves pre-made foods to speed up service. If you drive a General Motors truck, then you need to listen up. The auto manufacturer is recalling over 132,000 trucks due to an issue with the tailgate. According to the recall notice, water intrusion may cause the tailgate's electronic gate release switch to short circuit. That can cause the tailgate to unlatch while the truck is in park. The recall affects certain models of the 2024 Chevrolet Silverado and the GMC Sierra. Elon Musk's record-breaking pay package for serving as Tesla's CEO was rejected on Monday by a Delaware court again. The pay package, now worth $56 billion, is made up of more than 300 million Tesla stock options. It had been previously thrown out by the same judge in January, but in June, it was approved by Tesla shareholders. In Monday's motion, the judge criticized Tesla's board for being too close to Musk. While on the campaign trail, President-elect Donald Trump promised to deport millions of undocumented migrants. However, a new survey suggests Wall Street doesn't believe that that's going to happen. According to Goldman Sachs, only 6% of investors expect net immigration will turn negative under Trump. Simply put, the vast majority believe more people will continue to enter the U.S. than they will leave it. And that'll do it for consumer news. But don't go anywhere, because later in the show, we'll tell you what's going on in the health world. Guys?
Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos welcome Myles Garrett and the Cleveland Browns into Mile High for a Monday night brawl. KSTV has got the action and more.
Will spend 15 minutes watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Today, the world could use a little more understanding. Understanding nurtured by shared values. We come together at Kent State. Different dreams, different viewpoints, united by purpose. Preparing to make a difference in our divided world. Wherever you are in your life's journey, come learn with us. Begin at Kent State.
Meet the Scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
You.
But I feel fine.
That's great. You may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.com.
This is your Kent Stater TV Sports Report.
I'm Gage Wellman, and for one last time this semester, I am honored and beyond excited to give you all the updates on the wonderful world of sports. The Kent State football team season ended with a loss, but they are still losing even in the offseason. Flash's quarterback, Tommy Ulatowski, announced yesterday on Instagram that he will be entering the transfer portal. Ulatowski is not the only Flash to leave Kent State after the team's loss to Buffalo last week. Star wideout Krishawn McCray is also leaving Portage County. Ulatowski spent the past 3 years with the Flashes and threw for over 1,300 yards in 2024. Last week, the Kent State men's basketball team participated in the Western Slam tournament. The Flashes took home a 2-1 record with wins against Towson and Kennesaw State, with a loss to UC Irvine. KSU showed moments of dominance, especially against Towson, whom the Flashes beat by double digits. However, against UC Irvine, no one for the Flashes cracked more than 9 points. Senior forward Von Cameron Davis scored 18 in both wins and has asserted himself as the Flash's top scorer. Legendary golfer Tiger Woods announced today that he is currently unable to compete in any PGA Tour tournaments. The 48-year-old said he will not take to the green this week at the Heroes World Challenge, an event that is hosted by Woods. The former Masters champion said, quote, "I'm not in tournament shape yet," and that he is not physically capable of going against the world's best golfers. If you'll remember, Woods had undergone his 6th back surgery in September. Tonight at the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, the first-place Cleveland Cavaliers will play host to the last-place Washington Wizards. This isn't just any regular season game, however, as it's Tuesday, which means tonight's game will be for the NBA Cup. The Cavs are heavily favored as Washington has struggled mightily so far to the tune of a 2-16 record. Yikes. This game is scheduled for a 7 p.m. start. Let's take you to Denver, Colorado, as Javonte Williams is going to get us started with a touchdown run, evades, and patiently goes between his blockers. Jameis Winston threads the needle and answers with a touchdown to a pass to Pro Bowl tight end David Njoku. Fullbacks, you don't see them very much anymore in 2024, but it's Michael Burton going his way in, celebrating with the boys. But as I said, you get a bit of good, you get a bit of bad, and here's a bit of bad from quarterback Jameis Winston. He's panicking, and he finds not a Brown, but a Bronco. It's linebacker number 15, Nick Bonito. He's going to run in to put the Broncos up 21-10. But hey, you get some of the good as well. Here's another jump ball to tight end David Njoku, who's a big man, but he was looking pretty nimble up there, looking like a ballerina on Playhouse Square for that one. But then it was Bo Nix up 4. Broncos need an answer here. What's he got? He's got a deep ball nearly intercepted by Denzel Ward, but it's a near interception. It's a big play touchdown for Marvin Mims to put the Broncos up. Again, speaking of big plays, it's the former Denver Bronco himself, Jerry Jeudy, who was traded to Cleveland this offseason. He says, "How do you like me now?" A bit of a Deshaun Jackson tribute. But here's some of the bad side of Jameis Winston. Intercepted, and this would be returned for a touchdown by McLaughlin. Final, Broncos 41, Browns 32. Sticking with football, Houston Texans defensive back Azeez Al-Shaair has been suspended by the NFL for 3 games. Shire is receiving this suspension because of a huge hit he gave to the upper body region of Jacksonville Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence this Sunday. This is not the first instance of Shire being penalized by the league, as he was fined for a hit in 2 weeks ago. Sources told ESPN's Adam Schefter that Shire will be appealing this suspension. One former football player who has yearned for his name to be enshrined in the Pro Football Hall of Fame may finally have his wishes granted. Former Green Bay Packers receiver Sterling Sharpe was named today as a senior finalist for football's highest honor. Sharpe is not the only Packer being considered for Canton. Former coach Mike Holmgren has also been named a finalist. Now, if he is voted into the Hall next winter, Sharpe would join his brother, tight end Shannon. Well, my friends, it has been my honor to give you all the updates on the wonderful world of sports this semester, and tonight was no different. I'm Gage Wellman, and I'll see you next year.
Organizations are helping individuals get through the holiday seasons by providing them with the resources that they need. Hear more about how Kent Social Services is working to give community members warm meals and a welcoming space.
Kent State University's Marcello Fantoni has served on the scientific committee of the Palace of Versailles for the past decade. Through this prestigious position, Fantoni creates worldwide connections, helping Kent State students and faculty realize one-of-a-kind global experiences.
Today, Kent State University is a global university. We have a presence in every single continent of this planet. If we send our Ohio students all over the world and bring their experiences back, we create the conditions in Ohio for a much healthier and stronger development of the entire state. When you come back and you have more tools in your brain, more options for solutions, you are a more talented, a more versatile professional. And this is what the market wants today. The future of higher education is global.
Amen.
was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly and put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
Bringing things back to Kent, Landry once again has more about some of the charitable events happening in the area.
Landry?
Thanks, guys. As we've mentioned, today is National Giving Tuesday, and many organizations are expecting donations to roll in. Kent Social Services is making every donation count as they prepare to serve many community members during the holiday season.
We never let anyone leave here without food, no matter who they are.
Kent Social Services is a local nonprofit organization committed to providing food to those in need. And as the holidays approach, support is needed now more than ever.
We do get a lot of donations during the holiday season, but even after that, hunger doesn't stop. So we encourage people, to help our members in our community.
Sealed food donations are accepted and provide a meal to someone in need. A donation of $25 gives 5 hot meals to seniors through their Mobile Meals program.
A lot of times we'll have folks that will come in and say, oh, this is all I have. And we say, don't say that's all you have, because even the smallest of donation makes a great impact here. We appreciate any donations that we receive. And again, no donation is too small.
This community program provides for anyone dealing with a wide range of issues locally, from homelessness to addiction.
That they have a place they can come to that shows love, is committed to satisfying them. They can find a friend here. They can find somebody they can communicate with here, and they find food.
Fellow nonprofit organizations have joined forces with Kent Social Services year-round to keep fighting hunger beyond the holiday season.
I just think it's so wonderful that our Kent community is able to provide this through so many donations from so many generous people.
Our community is very, very supportive to us during this time. They know the need is there and they answer the call.
For more stories like this, visit KentWire.com and tune in to the Kent Stater TV. Landry Torres, KSTV.
Rising between the U.S. and China as new restrictions on semiconductor technology take effect. The U.S. has imposed stricter export controls that limit China's access to advanced chip technology. In response, China is calling the restrictions a tech blockade and is seeking ways to bolster its domestic chip production. Experts warn this ongoing conflict could disrupt global supply chains and escalate economic tensions between the two countries.
Senator Chuck Schumer is elected Democratic Leader of Congress again. In a unanimous vote within his caucus, in a statement, Senator Schumer reiterated his commitment to securing bipartisan solutions and collaborating with his Republican colleagues, while continuing to stand up for Democratic values. Schumer was elected along with the entire Democratic leadership team.
President Joe Biden is making history of a 3-day trip to Angola, the first for a sitting U.S. president. In a speech today, he highlighted the historical ties of slavery between U.S. and Angola while promoting U.S. investments in the region. Biden emphasized the need for transparent and responsible investment practices. He also announced $1 billion in humanitarian assistance for Africans affected by droughts. This could be Biden's final trip abroad as president. You know, we've been hearing all night about the snow conditions that are be coming in tomorrow. It's been a cold day today.
Absolutely.
It's just been a lot of winter weather recently.
Yes, and I think we're going to be kind of in the clear, but I think Taken Evans has more on what we can expect here in Kent and in Portage County for these colder temperatures and some severe weather advisories this week. Hi, Taken.
Guys, yes, we will get into that a little bit later as there is a weather hazard for the rest of this week. But first, we're going to take a look at the temperatures for the rest of tonight and around the state of Ohio. Right now in Kent, it is 29 degrees and overcast of clouds. It is going to continue on throughout the rest of the night. Winds are west 8 to 13 miles per hour, and wind gusts will reach 28 miles per hour tonight. Now moving into the state of Ohio, up near the lake at Toledo, 32 degrees, and down in Akron, Canton is cooler at 27 degrees. You head down to Columbus, 27 degrees, and even cooler in Cincinnati, which is sitting at 25 degrees. In Athens, it is 28. along with 28 degrees in Pittsburgh. Now, if we take a look at the weather for the rest of tonight, we will notice clouds will continue all throughout tonight leading into tomorrow, and temperatures will remain roughly mid to upper 20s. Low will probably reach around 23 degrees. That is all I have for right now, but when I come back, we are going to take a look into the winter storm watch taking effect Wednesday night. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Tegan. Los Angeles police have declared a missing Hawaiian woman voluntarily missing. Hannah Kobayashi was meant to board a connecting flight but did not. Police say that they have evidence of Kobayashi entering Mexico on foot. Police urge her to reach out to her family to let them know she is safe.
A Florida woman was sentenced to life in prison yesterday for zipping her boyfriend into a suitcase and leaving him to die of suffocation. An Orlando judge sentenced Sarah Boone to life in prison for the 2020 murder of her boyfriend, Jorge Torres. A 47-year-old was convicted by a jury in October of second-degree murder following a 10-day trial. Boone claimed she was a victim of domestic violence, but the jury didn't buy it. She now faces life in prison. In Missouri, a school bus slid off the road yesterday on their after-school route. There were 7 students and 1 bus driver on board, ranging from elementary school to middle schoolers. The driver and 1 student were transported to the hospital. A nearby neighbor moved the kids into their home after the accident to keep them warm before police arrived at the scene. Authorities in Pennsylvania are searching for a woman feared to have been swallowed by a sinkhole while looking for her cat. The incident occurred in the town of Wilkes-Barre, where the woman disappeared after trying to rescue her feline friend. Emergency responders have been on the scene conducting searches and using specialized equipment.
We'll be taking you inside the Cleveland Botanical Gardens exhibit Frost and behind the scenes to find out what inspired the showcase.
And transgender youth are challenging a Tennessee ban on their medical care, and it's now heading to the Supreme Court. Find out what justices are examining.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
Welcome back. We now take a look at how Cleveland is embracing the holidays with a new exhibit at the Botanical Gardens.
Lex Grady is here with more on the festivities. Lex?
Good evening, Portage County. As mentioned earlier in the show, I took a quick trip to the Cleveland Botanical Garden for their Frost exhibit. While I was there, I was able to talk to exhibit culturist Summer Tolan, who talked to me about what is making this year's Frost exhibit a must-see before the holidays.
Cleveland Botanical Garden is moving indoors this winter with its frost exhibit, and this year exhibit culturist Summer Tollin is building on its foundation to create something even more magical for visitors.
It's great this year because it's our second year, so we have the foundation of everything laid out, so now it's just kind of like, what are we going to add that's new?
This year, Tollin collaborated with designers from Chicago and Florida to bring new elements to life, including plants, trees, and animals. What began as sketches evolved in creations that now enhance the exhibit.
We just kind of work through it, work through the details, and then the rest is kind of, logistics behind the scenes to make it all come together.
2 new animals have been introduced to the exhibit, a chameleon and a sloth, along with birch trees displayed right in the entrance. Visitors can also enjoy a gingerbread house competition, open to public participation, and a Costa Rican glass house filled with exotic plants, animals, and even a waterfall.
This show, I would say, is more like child focused and friendly than any of our other shows we've had. With the sloth and the chameleon, that's the first thing kids run to when they come in here.
Although the display is very child-friendly, Tollin says that everyone of all ages will be able to experience some holiday joy.
Outside, there's a light tunnel, which is super fun for kids, but then super romantic for if you're on a date. It's a pretty cool show for everyone, really.
The exhibit will be at the Cleveland Botanical Gardens till January 5th, and the hours are available on their website.
Well, that's all that I have for you this lovely Tuesday evening. Make sure to stay warm out there and to pass your finals, Kent State. For KSTV, this is Lex Rady.
Thank you, Lex. A beloved holiday tradition returns to Akron as the Akron Zoo lights up for its annual Wild Lights event featuring 1 million dazzling lights. Kicking off this weekend, the festivities will run on select nights from now until just after Christmas. Families can explore the zoo after dark, enjoy new holiday light displays, and visit with Santa, who will be available for photos. This year as well, the Grinch is also scheduled to make appearances. And as we enter the month of December, there are tons of holiday events all around the area.
And just like that one you mentioned, from the zoo lights to letters for Santa, there is plenty of holiday cheer to go around. A Wisconsin family's 20-year-old tree is now taking center stage at Lambeau Field in Green Bay. The more than 50-foot tree was cut down for the Baston family yard Monday and transported to the Green Bay Packers Festival of Lights celebration, where it will be the centerpiece. The family says it's bittersweet to see the tree they planted 2 decades ago move on, but they're happy to share its beauty. The tree lighting will be celebrated at their Festival of Lights on Saturday.
And one family in Idaho is making sure kids get their letters to Santa this year. This is the 3rd year in a row the family has set up the mailbox for Santa. Last year, the family says that they received 400 letters from southeast Idaho to northern Utah. They're hoping they can get even more letters to Santa this year. Santa's mailbox will be up until Christmas Eve, but in order to get a response back, letters need to be dropped off by December 18th.
He's a busy man. To set the scene at home, though, consider swapping your traditional U-log video for NASA's latest rocket. Their archival video of the RS-25 engines that launched the Artemis 1 rocket to the moon in November 2022. The blasting engines play on a loop for 8 hours. While you're watching, you can also listen to a low-level roar of the rockets, along with some cracks and pops that you would expect from a traditional U-log video. This rocket engine fireplace launched just before Thanksgiving on NASA's YouTube channel.
Recent court cases surrounding the field of health have made headlines all across the country.
Joining us once again is KSTV's own Matt Corrali with the details. Matt?
Hi guys, yes, that is right. This is what's making headlines in the health world. We'll start it off in our nation's capital, as on Wednesday, the Supreme Court is hearing an appeal from transgender youths challenging a Tennessee ban on their medical care. The case involves fundamental principles forbidding sex discrimination and tests the reach of the Constitution's equal protection guarantee. The justices will examine whether landmark decisions tracing back 50 years apply to transgender rights. The case affects more than just the access young people have to puberty blockers and hormone treatments. Scientists are looking more into the correlation between belly fat and Alzheimer's disease. A pilot study analyzed 32 men and women in their 40s and 50s and the amount of abdominal fat they had. The research found that as belly fat grows, the hippocampus, or memory center of a person's brain, shrinks, and early signs of Alzheimer's disease may appear 20 years before any symptoms. Now going across the ocean in Thailand, the nation has produced premium silk fabrics for centuries, making it a global export. But now, scientists have found another use for the fiber, to deliver medicines into the body. Those scientists are saying that silk fibroin, one of the natural proteins that gives silk its incredible strength, can be used as a drug and less likely to produce negative effects compared to other natural proteins. If you're looking to take more control of your health care, Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield are here to help. The two organizations announced that they are introducing dual eligible special needs plans to those who qualify for both Medicare and Medicaid. Those plans do things like help cover transportation to your medical appointments, provide a healthy grocery allowance, and access to gym memberships at no extra cost. Well, that'll do it for us. For more updates from us 24/7, make sure to visit us online at kentwire.com. From the Franklin Hall studio, Matt Corrali, KSTV News. Guys?
Keeping you informed and ahead of the storm, this is your KSTV weather.
The weather for the rest of this week may affect your travels. Let's take a look into when we will be experiencing all of the snow. Taking a look at the extended forecast for the rest of this week and into the next, again, like I mentioned earlier, Wednesday, there's a mix of rain and snow, and this will lead into snow completely taking over the day on Thursday. 80% chance of snow showers. This continues into Friday morning, but ends at around 4 a.m. Then we move into Saturday, where the temperatures come back up into the 30s, a high of 33 and a low of 24 with snow showers, 30%. Then Sunday, a little bit warmer at 38 degrees and a low of 31, partly sunny throughout the day. And Monday will be the warmest day we will experience for the next couple of weeks, a high of 45 and a low of 33. However, with this comes rain, a 50% chance of showers, leading into a 30% chance of showers on Tuesday, when there will be a high of 42. Now, if we take a look at these specific 3 days, they're going to be very important when you are preparing for classes this week. There is a winter storm watch. On Wednesday night, it'll drop down to 17 degrees, where this rain and snow mix will just completely be snow with a 100% chance of snow. Now, this goes into Thursday with an 80% chance of snow showers with a high of 26. Now, what is important about these 2 days specifically is the wind. There's a chance for up to 45 miles per hour of wind gusts. This causes the snow to blow across the streets and is making the visibility less than a quarter of a mile. So your travels may be dangerous as you are going to and from classes. Now we go into Friday. This continues at about 4 a.m., but that'll be the last of it. Friday, partly sunny, a high of 29. As we finish this week of classes, make sure you are prepared as you leave Wednesday evening and for Thursday. That is all I have for tonight. I'm Tegan Evans. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Tegan. Tensions rise in South Korea, a presidential address today where he declared martial law. We have the latest updates.
I feel like her heartbeat is like same speed as mine. And I think we have this like deep connection, this heart connection in her heart, that there's room for me and Mom. When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer. It's a sensory thing. It's a thing with Asperger's.
She's really good with Anya. I've seen adults react to my daughter when she has meltdowns like she's from a different planet. And this little animal just sat next to my child and was just like, you know, it's gonna be cool. She's my superhero.
Good job, Kitty Cat.
When we adopted Lucky, we discovered all the wonderful things that make her unique.
Lucky's a little bit of a lot of things, but mostly she's pure love. Brush, brushy, brush, brushy, brush, brush your teeth. Every day and every night. Now it's your parents' turn. Here's what you gotta do. Let them have your toothbrush so that they can brush your teeth. Great job, you're almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
back and change it all. I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Or maybe it's just the little moments. I could go back and change it all. If I could go back, I would. But I can't.
President Joe Biden is rushing to support Ukraine before he leaves office. The administration has announced a $725 million aid package to Kiev between now and mid-January. The U.S. is set to deliver hundreds of thousands of artillery rounds, thousands of rockets, and other air defense capabilities to Ukraine. The administration says it wants to put Ukraine in the strongest possible position before Biden's term ends.
Southern Lebanon was one of the hardest hit areas by Israeli strikes. Residents are now returning to the aftermath in their communities. Many are finding major damage to their homes and businesses, many of which are mangled mounds of rubble and lined the streets of southern Beirut.
Georgia's experiencing days of protests following the government's controversial decision to delay its bid to join the European Union. Demonstrators accused the ruling Georgian Dream Party of adopting authoritarian, pro-Russian policies, threatening the country's ties with the West. The protests have led to violent clashes with police, intensifying the struggle over Georgia's future direction. NATO officials have condemned the violence and urged the government to uphold democratic values.
Authorities arrested a California man who allegedly shipped firearms and other items to North Korea. Shinghua was facing charges of conspiracy to violate the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. The felony charge carries a maximum sentence of 20 years in federal prison. A federal criminal complaint shows Wen shipped firearms, ammunition, and other military items to North Korea hidden in shipment containers. Wen is a Chinese national illegally living in the U.S. and was expected to make his first court appearance this afternoon in L.A. His arraignment is expected to take place in the coming weeks. Lawmakers in South Korea voted to block a martial law declared by President Yoon Suk-yeol. This comes just hours after President Yoon declared martial law in a TV address broadcast, banning political and parliamentary activities and even allowing arrests without warrants. He also accused the main opposition party of engaging in anti-state activities and sympathizing with North Korea. Now, President is supposed to participate in the vote to block his own decree, with growing unrest.
Can you consent with me? Imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read. 'Cause every kid across the nation deserves a book to read, and we can make it happen right now. No, I don't know what you've been told, but kids with books learn so much more. So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child. So let's join hands, book people unite, unearth hidden passion. Come on, we'll have a good time. Planting seeds of inspiration to motivate some magic. To change the writing on the wall. Writing on the wall. One book can make a difference. One book can inspire a child. One book can be the first thing that helps to change a life. People unite.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
My name is Liam Aberly. I am an assistant designer here at Yellow Cake. Everything I do currently is all stuff that builds on top of things I learned at Kent.
They had a different commitment to their craft or to their major. You know, part of that is just who he is naturally, and I think part of that he gleaned and honed at, his time at Kent State.
There has been a bit of a budding scene here in Cleveland between Valerie and some other designers that live around here, and we're really starting to put Cleveland on the map in the fashion world.
So, I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
I never really thought I'd get to do one of these. I am a senior, and this is the senior goodbye. I accidentally joined TV2 2 years ago. I asked a former student media member for information about applying in the spring, and I was brought to the newsroom for a tour. Alex Manthe then on the spot asked if I wanted to be on the Wednesday newscast, and the rest was history. I remember freaking out. I had no fancy clothes on campus, and I ordered a suit off of Amazon, and I swear on my life I thought it was brown, but no, there I was on my first newscast with a Cheeto orange suit and a man bun and a stutter. I was so scared. I felt so embarrassed after that first newscast that I swore I would never come back the next week. I am so glad that I did, because I was too nervous to talk to anybody. And as far as friends go, I was friends with close buddies from high school, but mostly didn't talk to anyone I'd met here at Kent. I would come into the newsroom, hide in the corner, and run away after notes as fast as I could, and I somehow stuck with it. The next semester, I was on the Flashcast with Joe Balbin, a young man that I respect beyond belief. It was there that I also met Josh Aponte, and the shell that I'd built for myself slowly began to crack. And then Kennedy Gotham returned to the news department and forced me out of that shell. I'm beyond blessed to have met her, and one night she called me on the phone and asked me to come hang out with a few others from student media, specifically the sports department. I walked a mile in the rain on a whim to see what was up, and that decision was the best choice I'd ever made. I finally felt like I'd belonged in student media, and I finally realized that my peers were so supportive and so funny. I finally had friends. I want to move on to my thank yous, and the first is going to be to Alex Manthe and Aaron Sullivan. The two of you have taught me so much. And I want to also once again thank Kennedy Gotham. You literally changed my life. I want to thank Matt Crawley, Michael Neenan, Ryan Shanko, Gabe Calora, Dom O'Brien, Alex Isaiah, Sophia Sonato, Nico Crespo, and Pat Sotor. If you know, you know. You have made my college experience as amazing as it was, and I only wish I was able to express how much I truly love each and every one of you. Josh Aponte, you are a living legend. You, whether you realize it or not, have really made me feel so at home here in student media. You're someone who noticed when I was sometimes on my own in the beginning and always brought me into conversations. Joe Malbin, I'm so unbelievably proud of the young man you've become. You're going to go so far. To Lex Rady, Landry Torres, Gage Wellman, Tegan Evans, Lexi Blatnick, and I'm sure I'm missing so many more. You guys are the future of student media, and I can't wait to see what you guys achieve, and can only hope that I'm leaving you with a newsroom you can be proud of. To all of my producers this semester, it's been an honor seeing you grow. To Tyler specifically, you've grown so much, and it's been a pleasure being on your show. To my partner in crime, Sydney Brown, I've had the privilege to be in student media leadership with you, Sydney Brown, for 2 semesters now. She is one of the most talented, strongest, and most compassionate people I have ever met. I can't express how fantastic it has been working with you. And finally, I want to set the record straight and go on the record to say I have found compelling evidence that requires me to state that she was in fact a cheerleader. And finally, for real this time, I want to thank Bella Marshall. I love you so much. To the moon and back doesn't begin to describe that, and I just can't wait to see you again. I am beyond grateful to have had this experience and can't wait to see what the future holds for everybody.
Wow.
Where do we start? Where do we
Give it up for Noah. The man of the people.
The people.
The people.
The
Truly.
People's Newscast.
Oh, wow.
Right.
This is the new People's Newscast.
This is the People's Newscast.
People demand it.
And I think you've really made that environment here for so many, not just on Tuesday, but this is a really special group and crew that's here every week.
And I would like to just say thank you very much. Noah and Sydney are actually 2/3, and our friend Joe Ziak behind the camera are actually part of the reason why I am here in front of you. They came into I think my first or my second ever writing for media class with Dr. Andrea Lorenz, and they said, we're doing the student media organization, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. And I immediately locked in, and then you, Noah, you've been so helpful. I can recall several times where you were handling 5 problems at once, and I felt so stupid asking, hey, what's this tiny little thing, a little question, you would give me a snap answer, and that's what I could always rely on you for. So thank you so much, Noah.
Thank you.
Noah, I remember being your AP.
That's
it.
Oh, yeah. You
That's
were my
it.
AP.
I think we can see how the allegations start to snowball.
I hope you learned a lot from your semester.
I did. I didn't do a lot. But I learned so much from you, and I learned I don't want to be a producer.
It's an important lesson to learn.
So thank you for teaching me. That's like the lifelong lesson you'll have.
No matter
if
where
somebody
you go.
ever asks me, do you want to report? Or no, I do want to report.
Yeah, she wants to do that.
Please hire me for that. If I ever want to produce, I'm going to be like, Noah Rowe is out there somewhere. Oh. Noah Rowe is out there somewhere, and he was the People's producer. And I hate to say that he was, but you were getting emotional. Like, phenomenal. You were just phenomenal. And Kent State, this sounds like you're dying. Kent State is losing a true Flash.
Yeah.
A true Flash.
In spirit.
Here's the thing that you out there at home need to understand. The election show, this guy from 3 o'clock to, I believe, when did we go on? 9?
Yes.
9? So that's 6 hours. And later, or earlier I should say. I mean, there was production issue, stuff was going down. There were issues with the
Live View kit.
Yeah, the Live View kit with some stories and all that stuff. This guy took it all on like a champ, and he is truly one of the heartbeats of this organization, and we're gonna miss him a lot. So thank you, Noah. We appreciate all you do, and you're a wonderful person, and we're very excited to see what the future has in store for you, my friend. Yeah.
And Noah and I had a class together, and we didn't know we had a class together until
3
we
weeks
came,
in somehow.
Yeah, we came into training, I came into training for KSTV, again, courtesy of Sydney Brown for coming into my writing for media class, different section than you, but Noah and I had a couple conversations, and he said, what's everyone's favorite class? And I was like, I really like my argumentation class. And he said, I like my argumentation class. And I was like, oh, what class is it? And we found out we were in the exact same class, and I knew him as Pineapple Pizza Guy.
Well, pineapple on pizza is objectively good.
No, but
Let the record state
you
that.
would know that if you were in our argumentation
Let the record
class.
state that before I go.
Yeah, so very welcoming, very sweet person, inside student media and out. Great friend. Thank you, Noah, for everything you do for us.
I will say, coming into student media for this being my first time, I was a little uncomfortable, but your constant jokes and personality definitely makes everything so much more comfortable and fun to be around. So
if you ever need a your mom joke,
yeah.
Dude, if your mom ever needs your mom joke.
4 jokes.
Yeah.
Same 3 to 4 jokes, but they're always so good every time.
He has the best comedic timing.
Your mom has the best comedic timing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's 2 of them right there. Yeah, that was. Oh, jeez, that's great.
We're also lucky to be able to call you a dear friend, and I, like you said, I partner in crime for sure. So I'm very happy we got to do this one last ride together. And I could go on for sure, but we don't know where that will get us.
I feel like it's awkward with you sitting in that chair. I feel like you should just be with us.
Dive on top of you guys.
A hug, like a little air
I
hug.
think the microphones would go spastic.
They would.
We would not be forgiven.
But it looks like that is all the time we have. I didn't write a goodbye, but we're gonna wing it. So we'll start down the row. Matt, why don't you say your name one last time for the crowd?
All right, I'm Matt Corrali.
I'm Lex Rady.
I'm Tegan Evans.
I'm Landry Torres.
I'm Gage Wellman.
I'm Sydney Brown.
And I'm Noah Rowe, and the best part of it is you guys get to do it all again next semester.
We do.
Have a great night, Portage County.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.